Your coworker sees Spanish. You see English. Same URL, same deploy, no feature flags. Before you assume stale cache, check one header. Vary, the thing that lets one URL legitimately become multiple cached objects. It happens more often than teams expect. One person can be routed to a different language, a different compression variant, a different A/B test cohort, or even a different device experience. And in real systems, both the CDN and the browser can each store more than one version at the same time. Vary expands the cache key. The cache key isn't just the URL. It's the URL plus the request headers listed in vary. If the response says vary, accept language, then the cache is supposed to keep separate buckets per language header so it stays correct. The usual splitters are accept language, accept encoding, user agent, and cookie. Sometimes you'll also see custom headers like X region or X device. Each one is a potential two versions of the same page generator. Here's the pattern. If vary cookie is present, an A/B test cookie can fork responses. If vary accept encoding is present, you can end up with separate gzip, Brotli, and identity copies. And if accept language varies, you can have parallel localized pages. That may just be the cache doing what vary instructed, but vary itself can be the mistake. When you see cache bust equals 123, treat it as a clue someone suspected caching. It does not prove which cache answered, or which variant you're currently hitting. Query params can change the URL, but they don't explain header-based variants. So switch to proof mode. Capture headers and compare them side by side. E-tag, age, cache control, vary, and content encoding. CDN hints like CF cache status or Xcache are supportive evidence, but they're not always consistent across providers. Start with a baseline head request to see what the server claims it varies on. Then probe one header at a time. If you change accept language and the E-tag changes, that's a strong sign you're seeing different cached variants. For compression, I prefer an explicit baseline like accept encoding, identity, and then compare it to accept encoding gzip. And here's the repeatable part. Save your response headers to files, then diff them. This is why I like curl sd file o/dev/null. It's a GT, but you discard the body. If a server behaves differently on head versus get, this avoids that pitfall while still keeping your proof lightweight. What should you look for? If E-tag differs between probes, you probably hit distinct variants. If age behaves differently per probe, you're likely hitting separate cache buckets or even different cache nodes. And if content encoding swaps when you change accept encoding, that's a very direct signal of variant splitting. If you own the system, the fix is often reducing unnecessary variation. Minimize vary to the fields you truly need. Avoid varying on noisy headers and normalize them where it's safe. And if you know you have critical variants, warm them intentionally after deploys. Recap. Check vary before assuming stale. Probe variants with curl using alternate headers. Save and diff headers so you're not arguing from vibes. And remember, cache busting parameters are hints, not proof.